I wish I could start a meeting. Yeah, I'm just playing. All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday, February 21st council meeting. I'd like to go ahead and ask the invocation and the pledge by Ms. Powers.
Let us rise each morning and strive each day to do only that which brings happiness and joy to others, and avoid doing things that cause others hurt and pain. Let us use our minds and our reason to foster behavior based on the mutuality and reciprocity inherent in human relationships, and let us always respect the dignity and worth of each other. And let us, above all, love one another, not to obtain rewards for ourselves now or hereafter, or to avoid punishment, but rather always to bring each other contentment and peace. So be it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Angelou.
Present.
Bowers.
Here.
McGregor. Padova.
Here.
Renner.
Here.
Schnetzer.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Just noticed the green light on my microphone wasn't on and wasn't plugged in. Okay, additions or corrections to the agenda. Do we have any?
I have an addition or a change on the agenda. It's under Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. I have to pull it up again, I'm sorry to say. And it says on this thing, official liaison business, Angelou. That is not what I do, so I would like that to be taken off, official liaison business. I am a chairman, not an official liaison business.
Okay, we can change that. It was trying to actually make that more distinguished from the other, since both of these items are actually appointed by the president of the council to these committees, and so I was just trying to differentiate.
And I appreciate, as we spoke this morning on this, Stephen, that I appreciate that. However, I want you to remember that, indeed, the word representatives means just that, and there are two representatives within our city, Mayor Jadwin and me. The other things are fine. They're wonderful things to do. These are people that are going to come and volunteer and take on, maybe four kind of things maybe in a year. And it's a wonderful opportunity. And it's something that many people do. So that's what I'm just saying.
I understand.
I've done this also for 11 years. I think I know what I'm talking about.
When it comes to the emergency, I know that, but I don't know that the word representatives actually is closely defined as maybe you have it. Again, president of council appointed individuals to be and serve in different ways. But in light of our conversation this morning, I did agree that I could make a new category on our agenda for something called communities and outside organizations. However, it turns out by discussing with Pam, who then talked to Matt Roth, that I don't have such authority to actually create agenda sections. So that will be on our discussion with the council rules and procedure on Monday.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I believe that Ms. Bowers has things that she puts on here on the agenda that you bring forward, all of the things that you've been doing for the past 2 years. And that's not a problem at all. So there must be some way to do this the correct way, because I want the people that are wanting to volunteer and be a part of this great organization, like you, Jen, and like you, Mr. Schnetzer, and like you, Grant, and actually former Mayor Tom Nealon is on one of these things. It's a committee.
Understood. And the narrow lens that we're looking at is representatives from the council. It's not as broad as all of that. But again, I'm committed to actually exploring other ways to actually modify the agenda so that we can maybe do something. But I'll state for the public record for the third time that the role that you have is different than the role that Trenton has, because your role is a voting position. I've stated that multiple times
It's a
already.
leadership position.
Well, it's turned into that. That is correct.
It's a leadership, I'm the
Yeah.
top leader. I
understand.
And as I said, I want Trent to be able to do this. It's not that. It's the fact that it's being done wrongly in this way. And
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that point. But again, like I stated, I will be exploring other alternatives to how we actually do our
And I
agenda.
appreciate
I just
that.
don't have the authority to do so.
And as I told you this morning, I appreciate that, Stephen.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other additions or corrections to our agenda? Hearing none. Item C, hearing of visitors. You have no speaker slips? We're going to get through this pretty quick. Item D, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as published?
So moved, Mr. President.
Have a first by Mr. Snetzer.
Second.
Have a second by Ms. Bowers. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
McGregor. Yes. Padova,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Angelou.
Yes.
Thank you. Item E, ordinances for introduction and first reading. Do I have somebody who would like to make a motion to introduce the ordinances listed under E?
Mr. President, I'll introduce ordinances listed under Section E of the agenda tonight.
Thank you. The item F, ordinances for introduction, waiver, and emergency adoption. The first ordinance is ordinance ORD 0007-2022, an ordinance to amend ordinance 89-2021, an ordinance establishing the salaries for the personnel of the city of Gahanna for the period of January 1, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Waive second reading, adopt as emergency. Do I have a first for this?
So moved.
Have a first by Mr. Snetzer. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Ms. Padova. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Padova,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Angelou,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
Thank you. Item ordinances pass. The second ordinance, 11-2022, an ordinance to amend ORD 88-2021, authorizing the mayor to sign a second extension agreement for the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, OLC, collective bargaining unit contract, waive second reading, and declare an emergency. Do I have a first motion for this?
So moved.
I have a first by Mr. Snetzer. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bowers. Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Renner,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Angelou,
Yes.
McGregor. Yes. Padova.
Yes.
Wonderful. That ordinance passed as well. Item G, correspondence and actions. Madam Clerk?
No, sir.
Excuse me. Colleagues on council, do we have any correspondence and actions? Okay, item H, representatives, Community Improvement Corporation, CIC. I was late to our February meeting, but I have asked Mr. Weaver to give the report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, the CIC met this past Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. The CIC received an update on the Crescent project. Good developments are underway. Additional announcements will be forthcoming there. Shortly thereafter, we went into an executive session for the bulk of the meeting and concluded shortly after 9 a.m.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission, Morpsey, Ms. Angelou.
Thank you. We've had an exciting kickoff on 2022 with the addition of Madison County and the Village of Buckeye Lake as new Morpsey members. We remain at a record number of involved communities, 76, a testament to regional collaboration in planning for our future. We hope that everybody that was there pre-meeting lunch and networking event with Columbus Partnership President and CEO Kenny McDonald. It was an insightful discussion, and we were pleased to hear from Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin, Delaware County Commissioner Jeff Benton, New Albany City Manager Joe Stefanoff, who is a person who lives in our beautiful city, Gahanna, and Whitehall Mayor Kim Maggard as well. We will continue with events like this periodically throughout the year with Ohio Department of Development Director Lydia Mahalik joining us before our March time with the commission meeting. With the major Intel project announcement, we will be hosting a brief project briefing and listening session for community officials with our partners with Licking County Planning and Development, and this will take place 12 to 2:30 p.m. on February 24th. There's a link if you'd like to register and come. I believe there's 92 people that are already coming for this because it's obviously a huge situation. Below, we have some updates from our February meeting. I'll put some of those on there. It's the State of the Region registration is March 6, 2022, at 11:30 to 1 at the Hilton, Columbus downtown. And we please, if anybody, well, we have our own tables there, so I think those have all been taken care of, Pam, haven't they? You've taken, yes. And
I apologize, I'm sorry.
No,
Yes,
no
I'm still
problem.
waiting to hear back from some members whether or not they're attending.
okay, great, thank you. And if you could do that so that we could get other people if they're
Yes.
not going to come. Okay, thank you. Governing essentials for elected officials, the Ohio University Voinovich Academy is having its next training series for local officials that begins March 4th, and registration is open. We request a local government summer intern. Are we going to have some of those, Mayor, do you think?
We have reached out to Morpsey and are waiting to hear back.
Okay. Let us know, we have many that are out there. Let us know if you would like a summer intern, so we do want to do that, and they're going to be, I think, just as good as they were the last time. Hopefully we get some of those Easton ones.
Prince set the bar pretty high.
Yeah. Member profile sheet, Eileen Luby is sending out commission member profile sheets you can complete so we can know more about you and your interest in Morpsey committees. Just what we were talking about, wasn't it? Yeah. And your interest in Morpsey at all. Be on the lookout. It can't be sure to return them as soon as you can. So if you'd like to do that, please do. To be a better resource for you, Morpsey recently recognized some teams and invested in promotions and new positions, including Thea Ewing to Chief Regional Development Officer and Senior Director of Programming, Kirsten Carr to Chief Regional Strategy Officer as Senior Director of Planning, and Nick Gill to Transportation Study Director. And this is a wonderful thing for these three people that are doing terrific jobs. In other great news, our residential services team is now administrating a new $1 million lead abatement program for homeowners in Franklin County. They also have a Healthy Homes grant of up to $2 million in addition to our home weatherization services. And we are really excited to help local families get the resources they need. And this is a great deal of money for this particular thing, and we hope that we can get all the things necessary to make it work. Recently, the U.S. Economic Development Administration approved the Columbus region's comprehensive economic development strategy. This is an important step for Central Ohio's competitiveness and means we can now apply to be an economic development district to open access to more assistance for the region's communities. We have some updates. The Regional Policy Roundtable, MORPSE's leadership, was recently in Washington, D.C. for the National Conference of Regions and had the opportunity to meet with federal officials and staff regarding our policy priorities and infrastructure funding. Federally working is progressing on an appropriations package. On the state level, the upcoming state capital budget process is delayed due to redistricting, but your projects should still be submitted soon. If you want a project, get it in. Through House Bill 51, which was passed by the House and Senate, public bodies can meet remotely through June 30th. Sustainability Advisory Committee, Bexley Mayor Kessler is now chairing this committee, which is focused on its 2022 priorities of member engagements, supporting the Sustainable 2050 program and Summit on Sustainability, and evaluating other sustainability initiatives, including litter cleanup and a legislative toolkit. And Mayor Jadwin is serving on that committee. Metropolitan Planning Organization, during the meeting, a resolution was adopted to accept MORPSE as the prime holder of a contract with Ride Amigos on behalf of the Ohio Association of Regional Councils in support of the Go Ohio Commute rideshare platform. The Regional Mobility Plan was also adopted. This plan relates to seniors. These are with disabilities, those with disabilities besides seniors, and those with low incomes. MORPSE developed this coordinated plan on behalf of ODOT and worked with 9 counties. These counties will be eligible for FTA Section 5310 transit funding as a result. MORPSE will soon have new grants, an investment officer, and a member-driven position that will pay close attention to the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and its discretionary grants, among others. Our goal is to drive investments into Central Ohio by watching grant opportunities with local and regional projects. We have some upcoming events. The Smart Cities, leveraging public-private partnerships, 10:30. I think this was actually the one that I saw last Thursday, Friday. It was spectacular. If you can watch it, it should be on YouTube now. This is a wonderful idea. The Smart Cities is it's leveraging public and private partnerships and making it not just the streets like we would have, but actually smart cities. And it was, Spectrum was part of this, US Ignite Register was another part of it, and Smart Columbus as well. If you have a chance to get that on YouTube, it's worth watching. It was absolutely wonderful. And of course, this Thursday, we're going to be doing the Intel Project Leadership Briefing and Listening event, which is about, I had mentioned before. Also, there's another event this Friday. I think you saw this one with Voorhees Economic Development Incentives Conference. It's going to be at the Renaissance Columbus Downtown Hotel. I'm already registered for that. I want to talk a little bit more then about some of the things that happened on our commission meeting. Number one, we had, of course, our talking points for Black History Month, which were pretty much what most people have used. I think you used a number of them, Marissa, when you were doing your thing there. It's very much, it's always wonderful to see all the things that have happened. But there was actually a tad more for us at MORPSE. But as we reflected on this month, I thought back to MORPSE's history, And Morpsey's history, in particular, our former board chair, who was the chair when I first came on in 2012, Derek Clay. And he was an instrumental in the creation of our diversity and inclusive work plan. He worked tirelessly, not only as the chair of Morpsey, but also in the building committees. And he's a wonderful person, a great leader. And indeed, we honored him, and he was there. And Morpsey he reinforces Morpsey's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity. It was wonderful to have him there, and he was, I think he was moved that we thought of him because he was one of the first African-American chairs of Morpsey. We also had, we had come back from the NARC conference in Washington the night before, and I had no sleep that whole night because I was trying to figure out everything that was going on. We were all very, very tired and whatever. So we did have 8 people that went to the NARC conference, and which is the National Association of Regional Councils. I decided I don't like all these little things like NARC. It doesn't have a good look to it, does it? So we need to be able to say these things. Our delegation included Thea Ewing, Neil Jurist, somebody that we know well, Joe Garrity, somebody you know very well, and Chris Amorose Grooms, our secretary, Vice Chair Eric Janis, somebody our friend down there in the middle of the thing knows very well, and Director William Murdoch, and myself, and Mayor Ike Stage, who actually is on the NARC board. We had a wonderful opportunity to reach out and build relationships. That was, I think, the main thing that we got out of this, more than anything besides infrastructure. There's so much infrastructure going on, it's unbelievable. But we had relationships with people from North Carolina, California, Illinois, Ohio, Florida, Iowa, Kentucky, Utah, Texas, Indiana, Washington, D.C., Michigan, and I think there were others that I hadn't spoken to. What we also had was some great news. The NARC 56th Annual Conference and Exhibition will be June 12th and 15th in Columbus, Ohio. We'll be the host at the Hilton downtown. This is the first time Morpsey has had the honor to host the national conference. They've tried a number of years, I guess, back, because Mayor Stage said that he had tried to get us in there, but he was not able to do it. So this is the first time for Columbus, Ohio. And that particular day, when we were telling the people that were there that they need to come to Columbus, Ohio, we gave them Buckeyes. We actually gave them Jenny, or what's the ice cream? Yeah, Jenny. And they all had this. They were loving it all, and I actually did an OHIO for them so they would know what to do when they came here. And they all said they're coming, and they're coming now, and they're going to have some more of that ice cream. So we are quite Jenny's ice cream. This is a big convention. This is the largest convention, bigger than the one in D.C., and it happens every year. And we hope we get the type of people that we have seen and gone and worked with. It's partisan, it's nonpartisan, it's all of the things that you want. We want to be together because when we're together and bigger, we can do better things. And then we met with 2 of our congressmen. I have to look here, so don't make a mistake here. This is, it's in here someplace. Well, the first one is a new congressman who is Congressman Kerry. And he is brand new. He doesn't really even know quite where his place is going to be because they haven't gotten that finished. But hopefully he's going to be close to where Joyce Beatty has been, I think, around. They're kind of going to be in that same area. And we also met with Congressman Balderson, who decided he wanted to know where Mayor Jadwin was, because they have had many phone calls together, I guess. And he wanted to say what a good mayor she is. And so I want you to know that. He told us all that, and I said I would let her know that as well. There are so many other things I could say about the ability to go and meet with people from all parts of the nation and know that we have the same kind of ideas, or we have the same many problems. And indeed, we had a number of people from the administration that were there as well. And it was all in all, I think, one of my favorite ones that I've been to, and I've been to quite a few. And they did a wonderful job of making us feel comfortable, and we had a good time working together. And that's what good things happen when we work together and we're a good family. And quite honestly, I have to tell you that one of the things that I have been working on for 2 years of MARPC chair is the fact that we are a family. And this, with the COVID, if I ever hear that word again, pandemic, you never want to hear them again. But when you're working together and you are able to find best practices and work together and make sure that everybody is on the same page, it makes such a difference. So with that, I will try not to make it so long the next time. Only one more.
Ms. Angelou, as I've told you before, I've always enjoyed your reports from MARPC. It definitely always, to the public, represents the breadth of knowledge that you know. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, MARPC Regional Policy Roundtable, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first meeting of the year and the first meeting for me is tomorrow for the Regional Policy Roundtable, and I look forward to having a more substantive update at our next council meeting.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ms. Padova.
Thank you. The Visit Gahanna annual meeting will take place on Friday, March 11th from 11:30 to 1 at La Navana. The program will include a presentation of hospitality awards, a report of the CVB's activities and accomplishments from the last year, and also the swearing in of new board members. In addition, there will be a speaker, Jason Duff, the founder and CEO of Small Nation. He will be giving a keynote address, Own Your Weird and Make Your Town a Best in State Destination. So I look forward to that. The cost to attend is $20 per person, and it does include lunch. You can register on the Visit Gahanna website or on the Facebook page. This meeting is open to the public for anybody who wants to register. There are also a few spots left in the Herbal Beads class this Saturday, and also in the Art of Tea class next Saturday at the Ohio Herb Center. So you can register for those classes at the Ohio Herb Center website or their Facebook page before they sell out. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you. School Board, Ms. Bowers.
Yes, thank you. So I don't recall if I was able to give this update last time or not. The school board did vote on the site layout for the new high school plans. They selected what's been known as option A, and that can easily be found online. That plan now, I think it was after a very long 4-hour meeting, special meeting called by the board, that site was voted on and adopted by the Board of Education. That site, that plan specifically, I think some of the considerations why that one was selected was in part due to some safety advantages that were identified. The other particular issue was around timeline of construction, the need to maintain existing high school facilities while they begin construction was a really critical consideration because they didn't want to disrupt students from their classes. So after a lot of discussion, they are, I believe, moving forward. It will have an impact to the city campus, and I know that those conversations are ongoing and are top of mind for a lot of people in this room tonight and elsewhere. With that, my understanding is that the next steps for school board, is that the administration will be further engaging teachers and staff on further design considerations and use of space considerations. And I believe they'll be moving forward with their construction processes, permits, submitting through the city processes, et cetera. The meeting this past Thursday, there was significant public participation. I was not able to attend the whole meeting, but there was significant public participation, a lot of conversation around mask requirements. Masks were made optional within the school district last week, and due to the decline in the positivity rate and transmission rate of COVID. So as long as I believe the school district continues to see positive trends in that direction, they may maintain this policy unless they see the need to go back to mask mandatory. I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Item I, official reports. Madam Mayor.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. President. I will try to be as brief as possible. Really just wanted to alert you as to a few things that are coming up over the next few weeks. This Thursday, the 24th, the Gahanna Area Chamber will be hosting its annual luncheon meeting. It will be at La Navona from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Keynote speaker will be Craig Turner of The Edge, who will be speaking as to creativity during COVID and talking a lot about how they morphed their operations at The Edge, which we all know is a tremendously innovative location for multiple startup businesses. So promises to be a great presentation by him. Tickets are still available and can be purchased at GahannaAreaChamber.com on their website. Also, just a reminder, tomorrow evening, 2/22/22. I just wanted to say that. We will hold our next session on our facilities workshop series that will be held at the Senior Center. Please note the starting time for tomorrow is changed to 6:30 p.m. So we have it scheduled from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. As we know, we haven't actually ever used 2 hours, but we like to have the time allotted so you feel like you get out of school early if we finish before that period of time. Topic for tomorrow evening will be an overview of financing options that exist for local governments. We will have our financial consultant there, and Director Burry will be leading that presentation along with Director Vollmer and Manager Schultz as well. So that is, again, tomorrow evening. Also this week, Franklin County Public Health, again, offering a vaccination clinic, both this Thursday, 2/24, and Friday, 2/25, at ARC Industries on Taylor Station Road. Times for that are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. No appointment is needed. So if you are interested in trying to find a location for that, you can get get a vaccination shot right here in the city of Gahanna at ARC Industries Thursday or Friday. This Saturday, we're only going through this week yet. This Saturday, February 26th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Franklin County Auditor's Office Board of Revision will be on hand at the Gahanna Senior Center to assist homeowners with filing property valuation complaints. It really is an opportunity for property owners to challenge the property valuations that they have received if they believe they are unfair. The Board of Revisions will be accepting complaints through March 31. But again, their staff will be on hand this Saturday at our Senior Center, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you need more information or have questions, you can contact the Franklin County Auditor's Office at 614-525-3913. Also, mark your calendars for March 24th. That's a Thursday night as well. It'll be a month from this Thursday. That will be the 2022 State of the City presentation. That will be held in the evening from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Peak at Edison up on Science Boulevard. More details details are being finalized. More details will be forthcoming. So keep an eye on our social media pages and our website. Council, obviously, you will receive an invitation to that once all the details are finalized. But Thursday, March 24th for that as well.
That's right after the State of the Region.
It is right after the State of the Region, that's correct. Also wanted to share, our new edition of Uniquely Gahanna is out. For those people who are receiving their mail, it should have come in the mail. If you're not still receiving your mail, it will be coming. So we're trying to see what we can do to help that along as well. Perhaps my friend Congressman Balderson can be of some help with that. But great articles in Uniquely Gahanna, some development news with that, as well as a great feature on Form 5 prosthetics, a fantastic nonprofit located right here in Gahanna, an incredibly inspirational story. I urge you to check that out if you are not familiar with that. I just want to piggyback on Councilwoman Bauer's update with regard to the schools. With the passing of their option, the option that they have selected to move forward with the high school, we have scheduled a meeting with the schools. We have asked to meet with their entire project team as well. We want to make sure everybody is on the same page moving forward. We have timelines and processes that we have to follow, and so their entire project team will be meeting with our planning department, engineering department, development department, public service, public safety teams, all of us together. I think there's a group of about 20 of us that will be present, just to review timelines, review the process, and start to begin to share some information. We know from experience development projects very rarely go smoothly. So we are really hoping that the more information we can share and get everybody on the same page at the outset is the more we can ensure that this runs as smoothly as possible for the school district. So that meeting will be happening next week. And then finally, weather forecast. Today was absolutely beautiful. I would have thought it was April when I was out there. We know it's Ohio, and that's going to change in 24 hours. We are forecast to get 1 to 2 inches of rain starting kind of overnight, maybe like early tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening. The ground is already saturated from the freezing rain and snow event that we had just 2 weeks ago. Then we had heavy rains last week. Our residents should expect some local flooding. Just the grounds are just so completely saturated right now that to get another 1 to 2 inches of rain on top of that, there's no place for the rain to go. So just be aware of that. And then later this week, I believe there was a winter storm watch in effect. The forecast I saw this morning called for ice here in the central Ohio, Gahanna area, Thursday night into Friday morning. Our crews will be out to try to do what they can to treat the roads as much as possible, and they will be out in the event the roads need to be treated. But also, I'm sure our communications team will be keeping updates on the website and social media as well. So again, urge our residents to keep an eye out for that. And we'll be sharing as much information as we can as soon as it's available. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you. In an attempt to be the person to adhere to your "this meeting will be quick," I have nothing further to add.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Wait a minute, we haven't stopped
You just want to
talking
be the
yet.
face.
Item J, council comment. Ms. Angelou.
I have no comments.
Thank you. Mrs. McGregor.
I wish the administration good luck working with the Postal Service, because Pat Teaberry called us, or we had a meeting with Pat Teaberry years ago, Bob Evans, and we were the location of the post office was a big issue at that time, as it still is. And he said, and I wrote it down, the post office is a quasi-governmental agency with little to no oversight. So there's absolutely nothing he could really do about it. So I thought, well, that's putting it pretty much out there. So that's all my only comment. I'll probably never get my mail again now.
Thank you. Mr. Weaver.
I'll also be very brief this evening, Mr. President. I just would like to say a big thank you to the mayor and the administration for the facilities workshops. I've found them very beneficial for my own edification, and a big thank you to IT manager, Mr. Schultz, who's been on his feet and speaking at length during those workshops.
He's loving every minute.
I would encourage the public to attend, but thank you, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow evening's presentation. And that's it for me, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Padova.
Nothing for me tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Snutzer?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I'll be brief. Piggybacking off of the mayor's comments about the weather here, the last couple of days have been unseasonably warm or mild, and we took advantage of it as a family on both days. But apart from our own enjoyment of the trail system and the various parks and connectedness, we were not the only ones. So it was just good to kind of feel like we were finally thawing out here a little bit, both literally and figuratively, and getting to see some of the neighbors that were out there as well. So it's going to change, but for those couple of days or 48 hours that we had, it was awfully nice. That's it for me.
Thank you. Mrs. Bowers?
Yes, I missed one item. The Gahanna Jefferson Education Foundation Gala and Auction is this coming Saturday. I just checked the website. There are 8 tickets left. If you'd like to attend, they're $75 each. That includes a meal. It's at the Jefferson Country Club. You can also register just to bid on the silent auction. Mr. Schnetzer, I was perusing it, and there was a bottle of Blanton's listed under the silent auction item. I already let Chief Spence know, so you guys might have a bidding war. I just wanted to also remind my colleagues that there are some upcoming Columbus Metropolitan Club luncheons that might be of interest. There's a DE&I organizational leaders presentation on March 3rd featuring leadership from Nationwide Insurance and COVA Insurance and Columbus Metropolitan Library. Kaylee, I thought you might be interested. There's one on nonprofit accountability on March 23rd. So keep your eyes posted. They just did a presentation on supply chain issues, and many others are coming up. A note on some small business issues. I just wanted to touch base on the crafted culture issue. I've had a couple people reach out. So Crafted Culture is the first Black-owned craft brewery in Central Ohio, right here in Gahanna. They want to extend their gratitude to the city and to the Economic Development Department and to Mayor Jadwin for all the support that they've received. Their doors are closed currently. There was a dispute over the location, but they are very much looking to remain in Gahanna, remain in Central Ohio, and want the folks and supporters to know that they very much want to be here, and they very much appreciate all the support and outpouring of positivity that they've received from the community. That said, I want to welcome Marlowe's Philly cheesesteaks, a new business going into the Creekside area. And I'm very much going to miss the chicken bean avocado salad at Arapazzo. So adios to Arapazzo. I will still go to your brewery district location, and welcome to Marlowe's. And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I have nothing to report this evening. Thank you. Item K, executive session. I'm going to go into executive session under authority of Section 5.40A of the Council Rules of Procedure to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual, unless the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing. Do you have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I have a first by Mr. Snutzer,
Second.
second by Mr. Weaver. Is there any discussion? Pam, roll call, please.
Schnetzer,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Angelou. Yes. Bowers,
Yes.
McGregor,
Yes.
Padova,
Yes.
Renner.
Yes. Thank you. This is for council only. We are not coming back with any kind of legislation, so I bid you all a very good evening.
I have 2 minutes to talk to